The wind howled like a warning that night, cold enough to kill a man where he stood. And somewhere out on that frozen trail, a woman was already losing the fight. He almost rode past her. Just another shadow in the snow, another tragedy waiting to happen. But something made him stop. Something he couldn't explain. Because if he hadn't, he would have never discovered the truth that would shake his entire life. The woman he saved wasn't just anyone. She was the governor's daughter. And by morning, everything would change. The storm rolled in faster than anyone expected. Out on the western trail, where the land stretched endlessly and mercy came in short supply, even the toughest men feared nights like this. Elias Carter was one of those men. A quiet cowboy with a past he never spoke about. People in town said he'd seen things, lost things, and decided never to get close to anyone again. That night, he was just trying to make it back home. His horse struggled through the snow, each step heavier than the last. The cold bit through his coat like needles, but Elias kept going. Survival wasn't new to him. Then he saw it. A shape. Barely visible under the drifting snow. At first, he told himself to keep riding. He had to. Stopping out here could mean death, for both of them. But something didn't sit right. With a sigh heavy as regret, Elias pulled the reins and turned back. As he approached, the shape became clear, a woman. She was lying in the snow, barely conscious, her lips pale, her body trembling so violently it looked like she might shatter. "Hey, can you hear me?" Elias said, kneeling beside her. Her eyes fluttered open for just a second. Fear. Confusion. Pain. Then darkness again. Elias cursed under his breath. He knew what this was. Hypothermia. And if he didn't act fast, she wouldn't make it. Without another thought, he lifted her onto his horse, wrapping his coat around her fragile body. The journey back was brutal. The wind fought him every step of the way, as if the storm itself didn't want her to survive. But Elias pressed on, pushing his horse harder than he ever had before. Hours later, he reached his cabin. A small, worn-down place on the edge of nowhere. Not much, but it was shelter. Inside, he laid her by the fire, carefully warming her, giving her water, speaking to her even though she couldn't respond. "Stay with me, you're not dying tonight," he muttered. Time passed slowly, painfully, until finally, she breathed. Deep, steady, alive. Elias leaned back, exhaustion washing over him. He didn't know who she was. Didn't know why she was out there. But one thing was certain. He had just pulled someone back from death. And something told him. This wasn't just a random act of fate. Morning came quietly. The storm had passed, leaving behind a world of white silence. Inside the cabin, the fire still burned low. And the woman, she was awake. Her eyes scanned the room, confused at first. Then they landed on Elias, sitting across from her, watching quietly. "You're safe," he said simply. She tried to speak, but her voice was weak. I thought I was going to die." Elias gave a small nod. "You almost did." There was a pause. Then she asked, "Why did you stop?" Elias hesitated. "Didn't feel right not to." That answer stayed with her. Over the next few hours, she slowly regained strength. Elias gave her food, water, and space. He wasn't used to company, especially not like this. But something about her presence felt different. Calm. Real. Her name, she said, was Clara? She didn't explain much else. Not at first. But Elias could tell, she wasn't just anyone. The way she spoke. The way she carried herself. Even in weakness, there was strength. Later that afternoon, the sound of horses broke the silence. Elias stiffened. No one came out here. Ever. He stepped outside, hand instinctively near his holster. And then he saw them. A group of riders, well-dressed, armed, urgent. At their center, a man Elias recognized instantly. The governor. Before Elias could react, the riders stopped, and the governor jumped down, rushing forward. "Clara!" Elias froze. Clara stepped out behind him. "Father!" The moment hit like a thunderclap. Elias looked between them, realization settling in. The woman he had pulled from the snow, the one he had almost left behind, was the governor's daughter. The governor turned to Elias, his eyes filled with something rare, gratitude. "You saved her life," he said, voice heavy. "I don't know how to repay you." Elias shook his head. "No need. Just did what anyone should." But the governor knew better. Not everyone would have stopped. Not everyone would have risked their life for a stranger. Clara stepped forward, her eyes meeting Elias's. "You didn't just save me," she said softly. "You reminded me, there's still good in this world." Those words hit deeper than Elias expected. For a man who had shut himself off from everything, it meant something. Days later, the governor offered Elias a place in the city. A job. A new life. But Elias refused. This land, this quiet, it was all he knew. Still, something had changed. Before leaving, Clara turned back one last time. "Maybe the world needs more people like you," she said. Elias watched as they rode away. And for the first time in years, he didn't feel so alone. Sometimes, the smallest decisions carry the greatest weight. A moment of hesitation. A choice to stop, or keep going. Elias could have ridden past. The storm would have erased everything. No one would have known. But he didn't. And because of that, a life was saved. A story was changed. And a broken man found something he thought he had lost forever. Hope. Because in the end, it's not who you save that matters. It's that you chose to save them at all. If today's story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And remember, even a small act of kindness can change someone's entire life. Red Heart.